And what we're going to do here is go over some of the trades that I do, and I just describe it as the holiday trade. In the holiday trade is a trade that encompasses not just one futures contract or one equity, something like that. It encompasses just a total array of trading that if you keep your head up, if you know what's going on, you've got a really good opportunity to make some money. Like I said, I've been trading in the market for quite some time. Over 30 years. I started in 1981, and I was a institutional grain trader. I got started in the business. I came out of the ag business right out of school, and I wasn't in that too long, and a friend of mine with the contacts that I had asked me to come in and take a look at what he was doing at a small company called Clayton Brokerage Company. That was eventually merged with several different companies. But at the time when I started, I was doing commercial grain trading. And what does that encompass? It encompasses trading a whole lot of grains. And I dealt with all types of commercial people, producers, users, end users. I worked with them in marketing crops, and that's how I got to learn the market. There's a lot of people that love to learn to trade. At the time that I was learning to trade, that I was learning what needed to be done to be successful in this business, I had the opportunity to sit down next to some pretty good traders over the years, and also to get to meet some pretty good traders over the years out of the Tennessee area. And through that time, I developed a system of trading, way of trading that became very profitable for me, that I since named for the webinar here, the holiday trades. It's somewhat of a seasonal trade, and that's what we'll go over, some of the different things that I've learned along the way, some of the things that you can do, and what triggers these trades. Now, as let me make sure these are changing. There we go. And of course, the warnings that we all have to show in here, that futures trading, equities trading, options trading, whatever it is, has a potential for very good rewards, but it also has a lot of potential risks to go along with it. And with these risks that you take these, in all of these risks that you take, you just have to make sure that you're aware of what's going on, that you know what's going on. And don't trade until you do know what's going on. Don't trade with money that you can't afford to lose. That's the most important thing. That you trade with, have very common sense, that you're using common sense through all trading. Nothing that we're sharing here is a solicitation or an offer to buy or sell futures, options, or stocks. And as you can read, we've pretty much covered everything that we need to cover. Now, what triggered the idea for a holiday trade? I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard before. Have you ever heard of the voice from the tomb? It's what I wanted to find out. See if you guys know anything about that. What is the voice from the tomb? It's a myth. Is it a myth? We don't know. The myth, supposedly the legend of it, whatever it is. This is a legend of a wise grain trader that made his fortune trading seasonals in the grain markets. And he traded and just amassed, had just a total wealth built up that unfortunately his kids thought that they were going to inherit when he died. Well, what happened with this voice from the tomb? His wife died, and this man raised the children on his own. And off of this, what happened? The kids got lazy. They thought they were going to just inherit all their dad's money, and the dad gave all the money away, but left them one thing. He left them in his will the dates of when to buy and sell certain agricultural products in the corn and wheat, and the dates to do that. That's the voice of the tomb. And off of that, I went back in, and as many people have over the years, this is, if you look it up, it's pretty easily found. But believe it or not, when I sit down next to some old guys when I first started trading, these guys adhered to these dates pretty close. Is it so? What you ask, a lot's changed from the probably close to 100 years that this came out. Is it still a viable trade setup? Yeah, it is. What's changed over the years? What's a driving force behind the dates for these trades? That's something in here that you've got to do your homework on, and that's what we're going to cover today, some of the things that we do, and give you some ideas of how to work your timing in here off of these trades for the holiday trade. Now, the fuel that what was that? The fuel that drives this is what? You guys, did you guys see this movie years ago that came out? Or have you ever looked at it? If you're trading futures in the futures market, most people have gone in and found this and looked at it. Have you guys ever seen the movie Trading Places? Yeah, great movies. What were they, what were they looking for in Trading Places? What were they waiting for to trigger this event that they were looking at? It's going to make them a lot of money. Anybody know what that was? Yeah, the OJ report. The crop, basically the crop report. And that's what still is very viable today. There are crop reports that come out, and this is off of the agricultural side that I'll look at here, that I want you guys to kind of get a handle on it. A lot of people don't trade the corn, soybeans, wheat, cattle, soybean meal, soybean oil, these things, because it's just something that they are not real familiar with. That there's a lot more information out on the S&P, on the Dow, trading the bonds, which I've traded all of these. Well, one thing that you should be familiar with if you're going to trade any agricultural products are these crop reports. Now, the important thing to know is not so much as what's in a report, but when are these reports released. These reports are released usually once a month, usually on a Monday or Tuesday, but somewhere around the 10th of the month, 10th or 12th in those. We just had one, matter of fact, just a few days ago. And I'll show you as we go along what actually happened. Now, is the information in the report necessary for holiday trade? No, it's not, but you need to know when the report is released, because what will happen, it can dictate very quickly now when a market takes off and starts moving. You're going to get volatility, and they've changed these from what it was years ago. Years ago, it used to come out when the market was closed. It come out at 7:30 in the morning. Now they come out at 11 o'clock Central, 12 Eastern, during the trading hours, and so it has added massive volatility to the market. It's kind of like getting an FOMC report for the equity markets and getting it instead for the agricultural products. Now, What effect does a crop report have on the markets? It can have huge effects to it. And when does it come out? Like I showed you guys, you can get this information, you can pull it up, crop reports, USDA crop reports, and it'll give you a calendar, and it'll show you the dates that they come out. What I'm looking for anytime there's a crop report, anything now that is released at 12 Eastern is a pretty major report. Now, what does it really have an effect on things? I want you to look at the June 30th crop report this year. We had a 74-cent move from the high. So it's what's important on this June the 30th crop report. This is a type volatility that you can get in the market. The importance of knowing what day and what time these reports are released, if you're going to trade it, is very, very important. Why? Because off of this, what you've got is a situation in here that can drive a market very quickly and trigger a lot of computerized trading, algorithm trading. And when it gets going, it can get going very quickly. Now, what has actually changed over the years? When you take a look at how practices have changed, agricultural practices, and you can see back, you take probably 50, 75 years ago, this is what it looked like if you went out and saw something develop along the way that I'm sorry, I just read some questions in here. Is that a daily report? No, it's not a daily report. It comes out usually once a month, a major crop report. And fortunately, that's all that comes out, because if it came out more often, I think some type of reports. We get reports usually once a week during the growing season, but it's not major reports. Now, how have the times changed? The times have changed this way. This is what things looked like years ago. These are the way things are now. In my lifetime, in my trading career lifetime, what has changed? And I think some of you guys who are, you know, if you're 50 years old or in your 50s, this is what things used to look like. Before 2008, this is what the pits looked like on the left. After 2008, now, if we took a picture of it today, it may not be that many people in there on it. Now, what's happened? What has changed in the market? The pit has come to us. We are now the pit. Somebody said, I thought this webinar is going to be about using the 2-period RSI. No, they got that. That was somewhat mixed up, and this is what we've got. So the pit has come to us. What we are today, the traders, all of us, we are the pit. So the guys that were in the pit had an advantage, and that advantage was being able to watch the volume come into the market. They could tell when the big traders came in. They could tell who was doing the buying in the market, who was doing the selling in the market. Now, as the pits have changed, as we have become the pits, now the screen, and this is, let me drag this over. This is our current day pit. That's it. When you look at a screen, this is what you're seeing in the market. This, and you've got to learn to equate what's going on in the modern day pit to be able to trade off of it and use it as what? As the old traders used to look before 2008 when they had that advantage. Now, if you are proficient in screen trading, in computerized trading, you've got the edge. You've got an edge in here. You have to become, one thing you have to do, and this is kind of off the holiday trade, you've got to become a student of volume. It's just imperative that you've got to do it. Now, There's something else that comes out that you've got that will give you a lot of information, and it's a commitment of traders report. I'm not going to touch on it real heavy right here. I'm going to go through some more slides and then show you another one. When are these reports released? What's the most important information? How do you read commitment of traders reports? All of these things, it gives you a very good idea of what's going on in the marketplace. Now, around these reports, we get a lot of volatility. Now, how do you trade the moves off of it? That's what we cover every day in our trading room at tradethesystem.com. At tradethesystem.com, we trade live throughout the day. It's not just giving you throwing up a trade, go long corn at this level, go short soybeans, buy the S&P here or whatever. What we're doing, we're showing you our live trades as we put them on. Unless we've got several of them, you can't show all of them at one time, but usually we're calling these out. We're trading live. We're covering all of this information, trying to get this out to you as quickly as possible. Now, this is what happened around one of the reports in here, and this was off of soybeans. In a 4-day move after one of the crop reports, this was in March, and I believe it was March of this year. No, it was March of last year. 4 days, $4,725 move. If you're aware of knowing what's going on for these holiday trades. And what happens, a lot of times you get crop reports, and why I call it a holiday trade, you'll begin to see is what we're talking about. Now, there are two sides of trading that you've always got to be aware of. Now, what are these two sides of trading? It's the hedging, the people who are actually are day trades taken in your room? Yes, absolutely. Where can we get the recordings? YouTube. Well, I'm not sure on that one, but what we'll do, and I'll answer most of these questions as I get toward the end of what I'm doing. Now, are day trades taken in the room? Yes. And now what we're looking at, the two sides of trading. You've got the hedgers, and that's where I participated in the market when I first got started. I knew a massive amount of agricultural people, elevators, producers, end users, and that's how I got into it, and I wanted to use that because the trading just really fascinated me. And then we got the speculators, which almost all of us are. And how do you know who's doing what? Well, off of commitment traders report that I just mentioned, this is what you would look at, and it comes out once a week, and it gives you, one of the things that it gives you that's very important for you to know is what managed money is doing. Why? Because oftentimes this will dictate reversals in the market that you see. Now, over here, I've got this circled, managed money. And how do you read these? That's what we go over, and that's what we teach in our trading room. We teach these. I cover them. I cover these commitment to traders reports. Just to give you an idea, it's a delayed report. You know, it's something that you won't trade on a short-term basis. But when you're looking at long-term type moves, in this particular situation on June the 10th, you saw that the longs were liquidating and the shorts were adding to positions. Those are something that you can pick up off a commitment or traders report. Now, what else does it cover? It covers what the processors are doing, how many, if they start to reverse positions, it tells you how let's see, is that the correct? Yeah, like I've got circled in here. It shows you what the longs are doing, what the shorts are doing, and what is changing throughout all of this. And as you get into these changes, you'll be able to read the flow of the market in a way that will give you a better understanding of directional moves and trends that are developing in the market. Now, the seasonalities are based on historical trends. Now, in the voice of the tomb, that's what the guy was pointing out. How these dates have changed in the market based off of current crop reports and things of that nature coincide with a lot of these dates that this guy used in the voice of the tomb. The seasonalities have changed in another way also. And how have they changed? The market trends, we're getting multiple changes throughout the year because of the international market. Now, this international market that we have, here we go, is based on what? We've got, over the years, the foreign markets have started producing more and more of the agricultural products. Like South America right now is in the midst of their growing season. We just finished our harvest here in the United States. We've got increased international demand that's going on, China for one, and the massive increase in their demand that they are putting on the market for not only in the agricultural market, but you get the energy markets, you see that. You see all of these things take place. Now, and you've got to know how to trade these if you're going to trade in the agricultural markets. You should know what's developing along the way. As you develop this and you begin to see these changes that take place in the market, you'll also be able to see how it coincides with certain dates that we get here in the United States. We see a lot happening here that that would develop along the way, and I'll show you. Let me show you if I can pull it up here. Give me just a second. I'll show you one live here. Okay, here's cattle. Let me go to a full screen here. Now, the voice of the tomb. Take a look, and most people know the major holidays that we have in the United States. And I'll throw these on here. July the 4th. Was there a change that took place here? The market was rallying. Here's the day after the 4th, on the 7th. What happened? Cattle reversed. Another one, here's was this Labor Day. The market was in an uptrend. We came in, you read the volume, you look at internal indicators, different things that you look at, and you begin to see that this market continued to take off. Let's go to Thanksgiving. And I could go in and show you a lot of different ones. Look at Thanksgiving. Market rolled over a little bit, and now we've been in here. If you looked at cattle in this move, very, very, very strong move. If you'd have been in our trading room, you'd have been hearing me say, guys, make sure that you're watching this cattle contract in here. What happened? And you look at it and say, well, you don't know, you may not know a whole lot about the cattle market. It's a very technically traded market. Now, what happened? This level from about 170 to where we are now, 158, since Thanksgiving, this is about over a $4,000 move in the market. And this is just one market that I'm showing you here. Now, the new voice of the tomb. how does it equate to what you're dealing with? What is the holiday trade? And why does it continue to work? And how do you identify when to make these trades? That's part of the situation that we deal with, that I deal with, not only the holiday trades, but overall trading. You know, there's something that I wrote down that I picked up on, and I consider myself kind of a trading coach. Now, as a trading coach, what do we do? And this is what we do. We, you know, after trading for 30 years in the market, I've developed some, I guess, expertise in the market, and I say that humbly. I don't mean it bragging, but there's a lot that I've gone through, that I've seen. I've made mistakes along the way, and my process of teaching people is to help you avoid making some of these mistakes. So some of the expertise that you can pick up from people, that expertise that I picked up from people when I started learning to trade, and not only that, but expertise from people even today. I can improve, I know I can improve my trading every day if I study hard enough. I'm constantly looking for new things in the market because the market is changing. I can't trade the way that I did 20 years ago. Why? Because, you know, you don't write an order up anymore on a ticket and call it into a trading desk the way that we did and wait for a fill to come back. I can pop it on the screen and I've got an instantaneous fill. All of these changes is something that I've experienced and gone through that I like to pass on to people. So the coaches, what do? They pass along their expertise. They pass along their experience, because experience is something in this market that is very, very important to learn, to pick up on. Experience sometimes is very costly. That's why the education part of this business is so important now, because you can pick up expertise in a short period of time. The learning curve has been reduced to a lot less than what it used to be for someone who was trying to learn how to trade in this market. Now, and also the perspective that you can pick up from a coach, whether it's football, basketball, or whatever, is a certain perspective that you can pick up from someone who has had this expertise and the experience in the market. And I use like a basketball coach for these reasons. I have 3 kids, and 2 of them played college basketball. One of them played at University of Memphis and then transferred out to Gonzaga University in Spokane, Washington. And he played his last year of college basketball last year. Now, there are 2 different types of coaches that he had, one at Memphis and then one at Gonzaga. The one at Gonzaga was more of a real stickler for details. He's a great coach, Mark Few. If any of you guys follow basketball, you know what I'm talking about. Because Gonzaga, small school, maybe 8,000 people, but they've gotten themselves on the map, and they've been very good. Fortunately, my son went out there and had the opportunity to play on the team that was #1 in the country. It's something that he picked up. What did he pick up as he went? He picked up a lot of perspective that he had never picked up off before because of the guy was teaching him. And that's what we want to do in our trading room. Now, in our live trading room, these are things that you're coming in and it's like you're sitting next to me at my trading desk every day. It's a live trading room. We trade basically a little bit of everything. Myself and Michael Sullivan, we're in there Tuesday through Friday. Hubert Centers is in there on Monday. And we trade from the opening Market opens, we usually start at about 8:15 in the morning Central Time and go to 11 o'clock or after. It's a web-based trading room. We've got live streaming trades throughout the day, all through the market hours that we're trading, and we have our commentary along the way. And it may not seem much, but what you're doing, you're able to sit here and watch us do it and hear us explain why we're doing trades, why we're putting on a trade, whether it's something like a cattle trade that I showed you a minute ago, or whether it's S&P. Just picking up off of these things that we've experienced over the years. Now, Z's asking, does this happen in the wheat and corn, soybeans also? Yes, it does. And I'll go over some of these some more with you. Now, there's something else that you pick up on that we've just started, and we call this our Hump Day Hangout. We do this every Wednesday, Hump Day. If y'all seen the commercial on TV about Hump Day, we're doing this every Wednesday. Now, it's like a 1 hour session. It's like a 1 hour mentorship that we're going to go on, that we will go over, and we'll do this every Wednesday. I'll do it one Wednesday, and Michael will do it the other Wednesday. So we're doing two a month apiece. And we cover different things. We're going to cover different things in the market, a lot of different things in the market. We'll teach how to put together trading plans. We'll teach how to put together a system for you to trade. We'll teach you different things, whether you're a new trader or old trader. We'll cover a lot of different things in the market, whether it's options, ETFs, equities, just ag futures, whether it's the E-mini S&P or the E-mini Dow, no matter what it may be. Now, I'll show you another picture, I'll show you another chart right here. And you may be thinking, okay, I'm just talking ag products. No, it's not just ag products. A holiday trade is for equities also. Now, you take a look at Apple. You see this, we had a holiday that just passed in the United States, and it's called Thanksgiving, and what happened? Then we have Black Friday. I love coming back in after Thanksgiving and trading the Friday after Thanksgiving. Most people like taking off and just not trading that day. There's a lot that happens during those periods. Now, take a look at Apple, what happened. Now, what we do is go in there and start to pinpoint and give you ideas in ways to trade some of these markets that are moving, that are showing the signs right after the holiday that what could happen. Now, as we get into these, we'll cover different array of different things. There's a trade that I use, just use for instance this. It's one that I've named the Three Sisters, and the reason my wife and her sisters, when they go out shopping and anytime they go any place together, when they go all together, when one buys something, the other two seem to follow along. And I kid them about it all the time. It's like you walk into each other's house and you see, oh, we've got that at home, and then they'll have one. So that's why I named these the Three Sisters. This is corn, soybeans, and wheat. A lot of times you will see, whether it's daily or short-term charts, whether it's a 1-minute chart or 133 or a 50-tick chart, whatever, you'll be able to pick up moves in the market based off of what's happening with, let's say, corn. Let's say corn starts moving down and soybeans happen to be lagging behind. A lot of times you can go into these trades and pick these up and catch a pretty good move off of wheat, soybeans, or corn, whatever, by picking up and determining which one goes first, which one is making the move. And you know, dogs run in packs, geese fly in formation, and oftentimes you'll see corn, soybeans, and wheat all trade in the same direction. You'll see the energy markets. You'll see crude, natural gas, heating oil trade in the same direction. You'll see the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the YM trade in the same direction. Well, if you become a student of volume as you're watching all of this, you'll begin to pick up that there are times when you can gain an edge in doing this. Now, this was this year. This was corn back in September the 6th. Well, what happened September the 6th? We had a holiday that came in here, and look what happened the day after Labor Day. We got into a pretty strong down market. Now, also, off of that time period, we saw another good move that happened in the soybeans and the wheat. All took off and had some pretty horrendous sell-offs in the market and made some very good money for us on the downside. Now, are there different ways to trade this? Yes, there are. You can get in here and trade it with ETFs. You can trade it with options. You can trade the outright futures contract. You can put on spread trades, and that's what we will cover. And let me see if I can pull this up and give you an idea, if I can get a continuation chart on corn, show you what we would be looking at. If I can get this up on the screen here. All right. Let me expand this out. What's the best way? There we go. Now, what happened? I just showed you September of 2014. Now, August, September. This is the move that we were looking at. This market moved the day after our holiday. We took off. There was a crop report that came out, and once the crop report came out, this market dropped 367 on down, went all the way to what's that, 330. Now, I'm going to point something else out to you. We're just going to go over a few holidays in here. Let's start with Memorial Day. Here's Memorial Day. We're getting a little brief uptick in here. We come back after Memorial Day, and you see the move in the market. Come back after 4th of July. You got a holiday right here. You see what happened. Down to the downside. Now, let's go to soybeans. Continuous chart on beans. Here is Memorial Day. You see what happened off Memorial Day. The answer to this question about corn, soybeans. Look at the move it had. This was a move up in here at $13, down below $9, or below 10. Let's say below $10, over a $3 move. That's a $15,000 move to the downside here, guys. Could you handle some of that? Is that something that you look for if you're a longer term trader? If you came in and bought, if you came in and shorted this market and caught to the downside, is it something that happens? Is it an abnormality that this happened? That I'm just kind of picking out some trades. All right, let's go back into 2013. Let's go into 2000. Well, let me go back as far as 2013 that I've got here. Let's go back in and take a look. Here's in what I look for in here. You'll see blank dates in the market. Where did the mouse go? There we go. Here is Labor Day. We come back in after Memorial Day. We come in after Memorial Day and look, the market took a jump. You think, well, this isn't very much. This is probably a 30 or 40 cent move to the upside. And you take a look at July. Now, was this the day after the 4th of July, we come back in, and the market moved from what, a low of 1013 and eventually went to 1042. Pretty good move in the market there, over $1,500 move in just a few days. And then we come back in. Here's another day right here. This is Labor Day. It just so happened to be the day after Labor Day. We put in a market high, came back, retested, and then we took a nosedive to the downside. Look what happened. Market took off, and we dropped from these levels up here, and that was a high of 1096, and then over what, about a month period, we drop it to 1060, 1055. What was that high here? From 1180, 1196, almost a it's $5,000 move in here in this market. So those are different things that you pick up on and that we cover every day in our trading room. And I'll go through some of these because these slides in here. This was a corn market in here in 2011. You see the move that we got 2011 to the downside, and that was the in October that we picked up off of crop report. Now here we've got corn contract in 20 days. We had a move of over $8,000, and I remember this one very vividly because I caught a big portion of this, and it was over, I think for myself, it was over a $6,000 move that I picked up on this. Does this happen only on some holidays? Nope, it doesn't. Now, the important thing is to know how to trade it after you come in out of some of these holidays. And when you pick up these moves, sometimes it happens the day after. Now, as I showed a little while ago on the cattle, this was at Thanksgiving this year, what we've had, a 4,000 move in the cattle. So what's the best way to do all of this? Are you looking to understand the fundamental side of it or the technical side of it for the short-term trading? Are these all long-term trades or are they short-term scalp trades? You can use both of them. You can pick up some very good short-term trades, scalp trades. You can also pick up some very good position trades off of it. Anytime you look at a crop report, if you try to determine on what the crop report is telling you and then trade based on that, you would be a fundamental trader. I don't trade fundamentally. I've traded technical the whole entire time that I've traded, and the reason, once these reports come out that I showed you a while ago, all the crop reports, the different reports that come out, you know, you could read the report if you want to, but very often it's not going to dictate. It doesn't, in my mind, it doesn't dictate the move in the market. What dictates the move in the market is how people trade this report. It's not the report itself, it's how the people are reacting to it. They may already have positions in it. That's why you need to look at the commitment of traders report. Sometimes around these, you begin to see the technical traders, which would be the managed money in most cases, they make big moves right around these holidays. Now, regardless of how you answer that question, the thing that you've got to answer is this. And I deal with this with a lot of people throughout the day, is trying to get them to focus on this. What are the time frames that you're trading? What is the amount of risk that you're taking in the market?
Hey, Pat, don't mean to interrupt, but you got about 2 minutes left.
Okay, good deal. And as we do this, our profit target that we're looking at along the way, what are these targets that you've got? You can have some massive targets in the market. Now, what are we wanting to do? This is what we're wanting to do. off of our holiday trade and off at Trade the Systems, we'd love for you to come in and join our trading room. Get in our trading room, and we're giving you an unbelievable deal in here to try us out. You get our trading room, all of our live trading, you get the market commentary, and you also get our Hump Day Hangout that we've got. And what is this? The Hump Day Hangout and the trading room, you get our videos every night. We're giving you, if you guys will go to tradethesystem.com/room, a 14-day trial for $7. I could show you a lot more, and let me throw one chart up here, and then I'll come back to this. Let's take a look at the S&P. Here's the S&P. Take a look. Just so happens, here's Thanksgiving. What happened? A little sell-off, a retest, and look at the move to the downside. Let's go back in here to July the 4th. July the 4th. Look at the trade here. Is it going? Why is it doing this? Is this Hubert Center? No, it's not Hubert's room, but we work with Hubert. Look what happened the day after the 4th. We get a little bit of a sell-off in here. Let's take a look at Labor Day right here. Labor Day, market hesitates, we get a little bit of a sell-off. There's oftentimes you'll get some trades. Now, did we do anything here? No, the market didn't really give us anything. But these are not the only dates that we deal with. We're coming up into a period over the next couple of months that will have some really, really good trades. The hours of our room are from about 8:15 in the morning Central till 11 Central Time, or from 9:15 to noon Eastern. So guys, that's pretty much what we are.